Scoutmaster in Jackson, Denver. As we begin this program, I'd like to call forward our revered Scoutmaster Emeritus, Roger O'Connor, to the stage. Mr. O'Connor will serve as Master of Ceremonies as we honor Scouts Bennett Gosker and Jackson Denver for their ascent up Eagle Mountain. Mr. O'Connor was a Scoutmaster of Troop 101 for 12 years and an Eagle Scout himself.
Thank you, Mr. Bauer. Welcome and good afternoon. Before we begin our program, I'd like to introduce a few special guests from each Eagle Scout. Please stand briefly as I call your name. The following names are special guests of Bennett Gospel. Mary Jean O'Connor. She's got a great last name. AP Chemistry Teacher Jessica Justice. AP Biology Teacher Terry Romaine. Excuse me if I mess any of these names up. And AP English Teacher Aaron Kreider. Next are the special guests of Jackson Denver. Grandparents Bill and Pat Miller. Grandparents Dick and Janine Denver. Uncle Steve Purholt. And cousin Andrew Benton. All right, at this time, I'd like everybody to please rise for the presentation of the colors and pledge of allegiance. And please remain standing for the invocation.
Scout attention. Color guard attention. Color guard, please close the color. Scout salute. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. Please join me in the scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to guard my country, to the best I will, to uphold the people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Please join me in the scout law. Scouts are trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, engaging, cheerful, terrific, brave, clean, and reverent. Please remain standing.
Please remain standing as we now call on Assistant Scoutmaster to give our invocation.
Okay. The scouting everyone please stand for the invitation. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together to recognize Jackson Denver and Bennett Gosker for achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. May their accomplishments be an inspiration to us all. Lord, thank you for providing all the people who have helped make this day possible. Help us give well-deserved praise and honor, and to also realize that becoming an Eagle Scout is not so much a destination, but a way of life. Today we celebrate the accumulated efforts that both Jackson Denver and Bennett Gosker have made over the years to advance in scouting. We think of all the merit badges they earned along the way, the oaths they learned, the character they developed in their service to our community and fellow scouts. Little by little, month by month, and year by year, they both were faithful, and today we celebrate this marker of faithful and hard work. So we ask our Lord to bless Jackson Denver and Bennett Gosker, their families who supported and encouraged them. We ask your blessings to fall upon their fellow scouts whose fellowship they enjoyed through the pathway. We thank you for the scout leaders who gave so much time and energy to develop young men like Jackson Bedford and Ben Baxter. Bless them with the certainty that their work has influenced the course of many lives. We all benefit because of their sacrifices and their leadership. Please bless the ceremony and use the ceremony, Lord, to inspire vision and to encourage their troop to follow in the Eaggle path. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Philby. And now I'd like to call on Assistant Scoutmaster Mr. Derek Jewell to officially convene this court of honor. You may be seated.
By the power vested in me by this troop, the Boy Scouts of America, I declare this court of honor to be duly conveyed for the sole purpose of presenting the Eagle Scout Award to Bennett Oscar and Jackson Bedford.
When a boy becomes a Boy Scout, there is within him something that we call the spirit of scouting. The spirit of scouting embodies the principles of the Scout law and oath. It becomes a shining beacon of inspiration. Alone, this light may seem feeble, but when multiplied by the more than 3.5 million boys in scouting around the world, it is powerful. After a boy enters scouting, he learns the Scout law and promises to obey the Scout law and let it guide his life. There are 12 parts, and each is an important foundation in the life of a young man. The Scout law is challenging for any young man to live by. The Scout law is based on Christian ideals and challenges. Will the 12 Scouts representing the 12 points of the Scout law please come forward for the presentation?
A Scout is trustworthy. A Scout tells the truth. He is honest and he keeps his promises. He is independent.
A Scout is loyal. A Scout is true to his family, friends, the Scout leaders, school, and nation.
A Scout is helpful. A Scout cares about other people. He willingly volunteers to help others without expecting payment or reward.
A Scout is friendly. A Scout is a friend to all. He is a brother to other Scouts. He offers his friendship to people of all races and nations and respects them even if their beliefs and customs are different from his own.
A Scout is courteous. A Scout is polite to everyone regardless of age or position. He knows that using good manners makes it easier for people to get along.
A Scout is kind. A Scout knows their strength in being gentle. He treats others as he wants to be treated. Without good reason, he does not harm or kill any living thing.
A Scout is obedient. A Scout follows the rules of his family, school, and troop. He obeys the laws of his community and country. If he thinks these rules and laws are unfair, he tries to have them changed in an orderly manner rather than disobeying them.
A Scout is cheerful. A Scout looks for the bright side of life. He cheerfully does tasks that come his way. He tries to make others happy.
A Scout is thrifty. A Scout works to pay his own way and to help others. He saves for the future. He protects and conserves natural resources. Carefully uses time and thoughtfully. Scout is brave. A scout can face danger, although he is afraid. He has the courage to stand for what he thinks is right, even if others laugh at him and threaten him.
A scout is clean. A scout keeps his body and mind fit and clean. He chooses the company of those who live by high standards. He helps keep his home and community clean.
A scout is reverent. A scout is reverent towards God. He is faithful in religious duties. He respects the beliefs of others.
Thank you, Scouts. I now call on the Scouts of Troop 101 to present the candle ceremony for the ranks. This candle, Scouts, rank ceremony. Brad, can I call you forward to light the spirit candle? This candle Brett's lighting represents the spirit of scouting, a spirit which burns brightly in the heart of every scout. Let us renew our spirit by reminding ourselves of the meaning of the scout ranks. Just reading you out, guys. Go ahead.
I am a new Boy. My 3 points stand for the 3 points of the scout. So I am beginning to learn the symbol of scouting around me.
By the tenderfoot scout, the 3 points of the scouting symbol are added to 2 stars representing truth and knowledge. The shield, which is the emblem of the nation holding together in justice, equal to guard the free love.
I am the second class scout. My backpack is a scroll and perfect with scout eye. Being prepared. There is a slit in it from the scroll. My everything.
I'm the first class scout. My badge shows the things going on. The 3 points, eagle and shield, stars and scroll. Indicating that I'm the scout training.
I am a star scout. Before me fly a hundred off just like the stars in the night. I can shine brightly as the
I am a wild scout, almost an eagle. The mark on my badge shows that I'm a scout is less than strong. I'm ready to start my career.
And we have 2 Eagle Scout candles to light that we'll save for our 2 Eagle Scouts, Jackson and Ben. I now call on Mr. Bill Bell to go over some interesting statistics about scouting. Mr. Bill was a former Troop 101 Assistant Scoutmaster, as well as one of Jackson's and Bennett's Cub Scout Den Leader, and he is also an Eagle Scout himself. Mr. Bell, awesome to have you here.
100 scouts. Of any 100 scout boys who become scouts, it must be confessed that 30 will drop out in their first year. Perhaps this may be regarded as a failure, but in later life, all of those will remember that they had been scouts and will speak well of the program. Of the 100, only rarely will one ever appear before a juvenile court judge. 12 of the 100 will be from families that belong to no church, though through scouting, these 12 and many of their families will be brought into contact with a church and will continue to be active all their lives. 6 of those 100 will become pastors. Each of the 100 will learn something from scouting. Almost all will develop hobbies and will add interests throughout the rest of their lives. Approximately 1/2 will serve in the military and in varying degrees profit from their scouting training. At least one will use it to save another person's life, and many will credit it with saving their own. Many will find their future vocation through merit badge work and scouting contacts. 17 of the 100 boys will later become scout leaders and will give leadership to thousands of additional boys. Only 1 in 4 boys in America will become scouts. But it is interesting to know that of the leaders in this nation in business, religion, and politics, 3 out of 4 were scouts. Scouting alumni record is equally impressive. A recent nationwide survey of high schools revealed the following information. 85% of the student council presidents were scouts. 89% of senior class presidents were scouts. 80% of the junior class presidents were scouts. 75% of school publication editors were scouts. 71% of football captains were scouts. Scouts also account for 64% of Air Force Academy graduates, 68% of West Point graduates, 70% of Annapolis graduates, 72% of Rhodes Scholars, 85% of FBI agents, 26 of the first 29 astronauts were scouts. And a previous survey of leaders revealed that 17 of our United States senators, over 60 of our congressmen, 11 of our state governors, 14 of our senior military officers, and over 1,700 chief executive officers, presidents, heads of corporations, all are Eagle Scouts. Only 4 of the 100 will reach and receive the Eagle rank. And it is my honor to watch Bennett and Jackson as they have reached theirs. A little thing, I joined Scouting in 1949, and I achieved my Eagle in 1958. I've been involved in Scouting for over 30 years. I'm sorry, 50 years. I know how hard a scout works to achieve the highest and most coveted rank in Scouting. I had the privilege and honor of assisting Bennett and Jackson on their path to Eagle as a Cub Scout assistant den leader, as an assistant Weeblo leader, and as an assistant scoutmaster. I would like to commend and congratulate Bennett and Jackson for being part of that 4% that reached the coveted Eagle rank.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. In just a few short years, a scout undergoes a miraculous transformation from someone who has memorized the Scout Oath and the Scout Law to someone who lives those words. From someone who wants to go camping to someone who has been camping many times. From someone who needs to be led and from someone who can lead others. But a more miraculous transformation is yet to come as a boy becomes an Eagle Scout. Now, for the timeless story of Eagle Mountain, will Assistant Scoutmaster, Mr. Derek Jewell, please come forward once again to read the legend of Eagle Mountain.
Story of Eagle Mountain. Early one morning, a young boy stood at a trailhead. Before him rose a mighty mountain, which seemed all the mightier when compared with his smallness. The trail led to the mountain and then up to incredible heights before vanishing in the clouds. On this trail, the boy could see other boys and young men, some of whom turned and beckoned him to follow. The boy began to climb, refusing perhaps to believe that he could ever reach the top. At first, the trail rose gently, and the boy had many companions. But soon he began to sweat and breathe heavily, and many of his companions turned away, and still the boy climbed. At times he climbed quickly, at times he climbed slowly. At times he had to go down a little way to find another path or stop a while to catch his breath, but still he climbed. The trail became steeper, the air thinner, but the climber scarcely noticed, for he had along the way become stronger of body, hardier of spirit, and still he climbed. And finally, in the cool peace of evening time, he stood alone at the top of the world and looked around him. To the left he saw a fiery golden sunset. To the right he saw a diamond-studded, silky black night sky. Behind him he saw the trail that he had followed and the hikers who were following in his footsteps. In front of him he saw another mountain and another and another, and the whole procession of mountains marched off to the horizon. But the young man, for now he was a man, knew that none of these other mountains was insurmountable, that all could and would be climbed, for he had learned many skills in the climbing the first mountain, and he would carry those skills with him long after this mountain was forgotten. And besides, he could begin climbing the next mountain tomorrow. This afternoon he would rest and celebrate and ponder the journey that he had completed. And so this afternoon we pause to rest and celebrate and honor those fine young men, Eagle Scouts Bennett Oscar and Jackson Benford, as they stand at the top of the world and look around. On a personal note, Ben and Jackson, seeing you guys coming in troop as young boys, and where you're standing now, I'm really proud of you. You both were wide-eyed when you came into troop and very shy and reserved, but every time I know when I asked you guys to do something, you did it. You did it cheerfully. You always had a smile on your face. And again, seeing where you guys have come from and where you're at. Jackson, when you stepped up to be senior patrol leader, you really stepped out of your box up to the task. And it was really neat to see you grow in that respect. And then when at your Eagle project, I was super impressed. You led the team on, did a great job. I just hope you guys is real light that this is a stepping stone and you continue with living the Scout spirit day to day. Take you far, and may God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Green. And now for the review of the Eagle rank criteria by Assistant Scoutmaster, Mr. Tom Garrett.
The awarding of the Eagle Scout rank is the highest and most coveted in Scouting. It is the last major step in the advancement program. It is the climax of a goal that Jackson and Bennett set for themselves and have worked to achieve over the past several years. It is an occasion for pride and joy, a time for serious contemplation. It is the culmination of the efforts of various leaders of this and other troops. The Eagle Award is the highest and most coveted rank in Scouting, the last major step in the advancement program. Less than 3 of 50 scouts, or 5%, in the United States reach Eagle rank. Jackson and Bennett, we are convinced you have achieved the character building, training of leadership, citizenship awareness, physical fitness goals of the Boy Scouts program. To become an Eagle Scout, a scout must earn a minimum of 21 merit badges, including 12 of which are required. He must serve actively in troop leadership positions for a period of 6 months after achieving the rank of Life Scout. While a Life Scout, he must plan, develop, and carry out a service project helpful to a religious institution, a school, a community, in a manner worthy of an Eagle Scout. He must demonstrate through the testimony of character references and otherwise that he lives by the principles of the Scout oath and law in his daily life. Finally, he must appear before a board of review. It is my pleasure to report that after a thorough review of their qualifications, the Eagle Scout Board of Review for Troop 101 has determined that Bennett Gossiker and Jackson Benford have qualified for the rank of Eagle Scout. Therefore, Jackson and Bennett are entitled to receive the Eagle Scout Award. And on a personal note, I joined Troop 101 the same year that Bennett and Jackson crossed over from Cub Scouts into the troop. My oldest son, also joined the troop, and Jackson and Bennett were good friends to my son. And I just remember thinking how young and so small these kids were, and looking at the older scouts at the time, it was really incredible. I never imagined how they would grow over the years. And just wanted to say to you guys, I'm very proud of you, and congratulations, and well done. Thank you.
Will the honor guard at this time please escort the Eagle candidates, Jackson Benford and Bennett, up front, please. Please be seated. And at this time, I'd like to now have Assistant Scoutmaster, or it should be Committee Chairman, Mr. Kevin. That's what it says. Committee Chairman, Mr. Kevin Parker, to come forward to the stage to deliver the Eagle charge. Yes.
Congratulations to both of you. You completed the path of Eagle, and I applaud your achievement. But now it's time to look to the future. Webster Dictionary describes the eagle as a large bird of prey with powerful wings, famous for strength, size, grace, and keen vision. The bald eagle was judged worthy of being a central part of the nation's emblem of the United States of America. Though eagles are found throughout the world, they are never found in abundance. They are always rare and always superb specimens. Throughout history, eagles have symbolized man's greatest achievements. And since 1910, the Boy Scouts of America have used the name of Eagle to symbolize those that characterize the achievements and place among them in the scouting elite. The intrinsic value of the badge is small. They can be purchased for a affordable sum at the scout shop, but you'll soon realize that true value can never be calculated. By earning the right to wear those badges, you'll find doors open to you, privileges granted to you, opportunities presented to you that might otherwise never have been available. Others can claim the capability to lead, to serve, and to achieve, but you have proven you have actual ability to do so. These badges show that you're a leader, respected both by your peers and by your adult leaders. As we pointed out earlier, there's no end to the Eagle Trail. Before you lies responsibility not only to you and your fellow scouts, but also to your God, your country, and your family. The Eagle Scout badge is not simply recognition for the past service and achievements, but they also are warrants for the future service and achievements. Our country has a great past, but it is you that can make the future even greater. I charge you to be an active citizen, not passive one. Be a leader for us, but lead us towards which will improve us all. Lift up every task you do and every office or position you hold to the high level of service to God, your fellow human beings. Too many choose the path of using their strength and brains to exploit others for selfish gain. I charge you to use your strength and brains for the common good. Live your life so that those that know you or know of you will be inspired by you to do the same. Remember, many people gave their time and energy to assist you in climbing that Eagle Summit. I charge you to show your gratitude towards these people by looking back along the Eagle Trail at those that follow behind you and assist them the best you can to one day stand where you stand right now. You have many mountains waiting for you to climb. Some that may seem insurmountable, but they can all be conquered. Set your goals high, take the first step, follow the trail, make it yours. Always keep your eye on the goal. May God be with you as you begin your next climb. Congratulations. There's basically two types of scouts that you remember as the years go by. I can say that because a few of us have been around for 12 or 13 years. Some of those help you with your hair coloring. And some of those help you succeed and make you look good. It's the two of you that made it easy for me and your scouting. I do appreciate that. I remember first year scouters and all the fun they had and running around. And then it wasn't many years later you were working at something. Being good leaders and making sure the scouts did got to where they're supposed to be and do what they were supposed to do. And I applaud you for being there, for being a leader for us. Thank you and congratulations again. Good job.
Thank you, Mr. Parker. I would like to call forward Troop 101 Assistant Scoutmaster and Crew Advisor, Mr. Jeff Bauer, to deliver the Eagle Scout rank responsibilities.
Thank you, and thank you for the large print. Appreciate that. Jackson and Bennett, as you become Eagle Scouts, I challenge you on behalf of all Eagle Scouts to accept the responsibilities as well as the honor of the Eagle Award. These responsibilities are as follows. An Eagle Scout must live with honor. This honor is sacred, the foundation of all character. An Eagle will live so that he reflects credit on his home, church, school, friends, and himself. May the white of your badge remind you to live with honor. An Eagle Scout is to be loyal, to thine own self be true, and must follow as the day and the night. Thou cannot then be false to any man. Neither pain nor profit, pride nor personal loss shall sway his loyalty. The blue on your badge is the emblem of loyalty. An Eagle Scout is courageous. Courage gives all character force and strength. With trust in God and faith in his fellow man, he faces each day unafraid and seeks his share of the world work to do. Let the red of your badge remind you of courage. Finally, an Eagle Scout is service-oriented. Extend a helping hand to those who toil along the scouting trail you have completed, just as others have aided you. The daily good turn must take on a new meaning and better life pattern of service. Protect and defend the weak and helpless. Comfort the unfortunate and oppressed. Uphold the rights of others as well as your own. Remember, real leadership is found upon real service. I would like to echo very much what Mr. Jewell and Mr. Parker said. The hair may be a little thinner, it may be a little gray, but it's not because of you.
Thank you, Mr. Bowers. All right, so since we're on that subject, yeah, my hair isn't any grayer because of these guys. I think I lost a few hairs, you know how long it took them to get here. All right, all right. As we approach the highlight of our program, the presentation of the Eagle Scout Award, I would like to call forward our current Scoutmaster of Troop 101 of 3 years, who is an Eagle Scout himself, to introduce and recognize and honor our Eagle Scout candidates and present the Eagle Promise.
We've heard a lot this afternoon about what it means to be an Eagle Scout. So Eagle Scout Jackson Bennett, I have the distinct honor of giving you the traditional Eagle Scout promise. Becoming an Eagle Scout is not the end of a journey, it's merely the beginning. So where do you go from here? Jackson Bennett, many times over the last few years, you've joined with your fellow Scouts in repeating the Scout Oath. Now, you will stand alone, actually in this case together, but you will repeat a new oath, the Eagle Scout Promise. And though the words you say are similar to those you've said many times before, today they will mean more to you than ever. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your oath with the same words that close the Declaration of Independence. I'd like all Eagle Scouts here today to come forward at this time, in uniform or not, to rededicate yourselves by repeating after these gentlemen the Eagle Scout Promise.
All Eagle Scouts, please repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example. Or rank in my influence.
Count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor.
Stay standing. I'll go ahead and
I tug it really hard. We'll just take pictures.
we can do that. Talk about it.
This time, like you please tell your name, the year, city, and state, and troop that we earned in Eagle Scout.
My name is Steve Adams. I earned my Eagle Scout January 1977 in Troop 98, Kansas City.
My name is Roger O'Connor. I'm an Eagle Scout from Rapids, Minnesota, Troop 524 on October 26, 1977.
My name is Corey Parker. I earned my Eagle Scout September 5th, 2012, Jacksonville, Florida, Troop 101.
My name is Chris Philby. I'm an Eagle Scout on March 29, 2012, Troop 101, Jacksonville, Florida.
Patrick Aaron, received my Eagle on July 26, 2012, Troop 101 Jackson. Walter Carter, March 14, 1983, Morrow, Georgia, Troop 412.
Nick Dawson, April 3rd, 2013, Troop 101 Jackson.
Jackson Medford, January 16, 2013, Jackson Fort Rio, Troop 101.
Andrew Bedford, May 10th, 2011, Richmond. William Bell, November 1958, Millville, New Jersey, Troop 4.
Everyone except for Bennett is
Actually, you can have a seat. I'll make you stand for this. We talked earlier about the board review, and I like kind of giving you guys a little bit of a flashback because it's got some really cool things in here about them. One of the things we do with our board review is we introduce a scout to the board every time. And for the Eagle Scout board review, this is, you close your eyes, this was the introduction, then the gospel to the board review. April 3rd, 2013. I'd like to introduce all of you to an exceptional scout of Troop 101's 51st Eagle Scout candidate, Bennett Gospel. Bennett joined Troop 101 March 17th of 2006. He participated in Cub Scouting and Eagle's earning his Arrow of Light. Since then, he has matured a great deal as a scout and has developed leadership skills over the years in scouting. Bennett participated in 4 summer camps, Lumpkin, Comer, Skymont, Thunder, and also participated in the 2010 National Jamboree. He has served as a troop leader, as an instructor, a quartermaster, control leader, and assistant patrol leader. As you can see by the participation records I presented to the board, his participation is good. Bennett is a model scout with the ability to lead others successfully and the patience that you would expect from a quality instructor. He strives to properly wear the appropriate uniform at all times and sets a good example. Bennett earned 21 merit badges, and he was part of the troop's effort winning the Matoski Moccasin, the Commissioner's Award, and Skymont Skillet Award, and he earned the Skymont Duty to God Award. Bennett is experienced in the outdoors, having camped 50 nights, including freezing weather. He hiked 18 miles, and he performed cheerful service on a regular basis in addition to his Eagle Scout project. I'm going to pause here for a second. I had no idea the scope of service that this young man has done in his life until that night. And we got into it with the board, and we found out more and more and more. And I'm amazed. And I'll share more later. Bennett has mentored an award-winning robotics team, recently demonstrating at the Duval County School Board meeting. He's a fantastic student, in the top 25 in his graduating class at Stanton College Prep, with high aspirations for college and career. He's a mature, intelligent young man with his eyes fixed on the next mountain to achieve. As you can tell, I'm proud of this young man, and I'm pleased to recommend him for the highest rank in scouting, Eagle Scout. I would very much appreciate your consideration of Bennett Gospel for this very prestigious honor, as I believe that you will bring honor to this rank and to the Boy Scouts of America. And then there was a few, like 28, 35 dozen questions, it seemed like later. A little bit of sweating and everything. And then we had a unanimous verdict. Eagle Scouts, when they go to the board, it was unanimous or it was no. And so he passed the board, and he became an Eagle Scout that night. Would the honor guard please escort the candidate's mother and fathers forward. You guys will stand behind him. Stand up. Just move that chair. You're not going to sit anymore. You're going to keep you standing. Hand that back up to my beautiful assistant. So we'll start with Mother's Day. Bennett, Your parents have undoubtedly been your primary source of help and strength. In recognition of your mother's devotion, please present her with this Eaglle Mother's Pin. Pin this badge on your mother's ribbon in recognition of her love, encouragement, faith, and trust in your future. And as an Eagle Scout, may you never disappoint her. In recognition of your father's devotion, commitment to you, and mentoring, and a little bit of work on your project too, please present him with this Eagle Father's Pin. Pin this badge on your father, in recognition of his love, encouragement, faith, and trust in your future. Already successful. Bennett, no one will know the unnumbered acts of self-sacrifice from your mother. She's probably forgotten it herself. She's been by your side during all these scouting years. I'd like for your mother to present you this Eagle Scout certificate. Go on. But your father has been your mentor, your advisor, source of much of your advice and guidance in scouting, and certainly been along the way with you along the trail to Eagle. I'd like for your father to pin the Eagle medal in your uniform. At this time, would Patrick Garrett and Corey Parker please come forward? You gentlemen will kindly remove his existing neckerchief and place the Eagle neckerchief on him. Sideways. As a gift from the troop, we'd like to present you with the official Eagle Scout neckerchief and slide. Very bad at some England that are very happy right now. In addition to the neckerchief and slide, we'd like to give you this Eagle Scout pocket knife. We hope that it will always remind you of the mountain you've climbed and the challenges you have before you. Yes, you may be dismissed. Bennett. Once you've written that, put that, you come over and pray your parents. That you've made your family of Troop 101 very proud. It now gives me great pleasure to present to you Troop 101's 51st Eagle Scout, Bennett Gossett. Audience, you may be seated. Cut out my part for next time. That's not going to happen. Ben and I have had a lot of fun as he came into that very, very abrupt landing at the end of his tenure in scouting. And after I took over as scoutmaster, I was going through things and getting ready to go to summer camp, and I was trying to assess where all the scouts were, rank-wise and everything. And I later had to apologize to Bennett because I was flipping through there and I hadn't seen Bennett for a couple of months at meetings. And I said, I haven't heard from him in a while. He's real close to 18. He's only got like about a half a year left. I don't know that he's going to make it. In my mind, that's where the situation was. I was on the bus going to summer camp, and I got an email from Future Eaglle. It's Future Eaglle at Comcast.net. So, and I get an email from Future Eaglle, and it says, Mr. Carter, I'm going to get my Eagle this year. I'm going to do what it takes, and I'm going to make it happen. And I'm on the bus going, oh man, I don't know. And I really stewed about it, and I'll be darned, he didn't do exactly what he said. And I think this man has a habit of doing that. I think he's going to continue doing a habit of doing that. When he sets his mind to doing something, he's going to do it, no matter how hard, no matter how difficult it may be, and no matter how crazy it might get at the very end. I think he's going to do it. He has very grand ambitions for what he wants to do as a career. If he accomplishes half of what he wants to do, this country's going to be better off. Thank you.
When I was writing this up, it's interesting to hear and listening to the troop leaders come up and talk about the importance of Boy Scouts and the implications of being an Eagle Scout. And I really appreciate how some of the things that I'd read about what I wanted to convey really reiterates what was emphasized. And I really want to reiterate that it's the true fact that the lessons learned from scouting are applicable to all aspects of life, and in leading to a successful life, not just of an individual achievement. That's number one. So I kind of want to share some observations in just observing my observations of Bennett's applicable to his progression through Eagle Scout. And the first thing, before we talk about Bennett, I think it's important. One key aspect of scouting is mentoring. And every scout that has had an opportunity to stand here to be recognized as an Eagle Scout wouldn't be here had it not been for the support of their family, but truly, and most importantly, for the support of the scout leaders. And I want to take a moment to recognize the people that have truly had an impact in Bennett's progression through Eagle Scouts. And I apologize if I didn't catch everyone, but from what I had written out was Mr. O'Connor, Mr. Carter, Mr. Bauer, Mr. Garrett, Mr. Felipe, Mr. Parker, Mr. and Mrs. Benford, and the Jack through all the years with the Cub Scouts and Eagles. Mr. Bell, who it's been an honor to even speak, discussions that we've had and through our time through different meetings. And then also Mr. and Mrs. Jewell for the impacts that you've had. So I really want to take a moment to recognize all the troop leaders. So on a lighthearted note, the other aspects, another observation is one of clarity. So this is first and a family story. And so I'm sorry, Ellie, but I have to tell the story. So we had 3 boys in our family, and then we adopted Ellie about 10 years ago. And when she was about 4 years old, we're having dinner, and she says, so she was not 3 or 4 yet. She's like, hey, and all the boys are there. And she says, hey, am I the only Chinese person in this family? Of course, my response was, what makes you think we're not Chinese? You know, and she said, look at the color of your skin, look at the shape of your eyes. And at that point, she had clarity. Okay, and then her next statement was, well, that means I have Chinese mother and father, and I have you too. I call that situational awareness. So, and anyway, ultimately, when you look at scouting, it is a function of clarity, self-awareness, and purpose. And I really say this for the younger scouts because we were sitting, or some of you were sitting, not yet Eagle Scouts, listening to the achievements of what the Eagle Scouts had accomplished in their travels to be awarded the rank. And one thing that was consistent is that there was clarity, there was self-awareness, and there was purpose. And in Bennett's mind, someone mentioned it earlier, his email address. His email address when he was, I think he was maybe 11 years old, was futureeagle@comcast.net. So, and I remember him coming to me and we were talking about setting up the email account, and he had two E's between the future and Eagle, and we set it up. So that was number one. Number two, so that's, number one, he knew he was going to be an Eagle Scout. Number two, he knew he wanted to be a doctor. And in terms of, to give you a sense of the independence that he had as it relates to scouting, I already had it pegged out that he was going to go visit a particular troop. I already visited the troop before. I was going to sign them up. I think they were off of Glasgow Road. Is that 333? Anyway, he's like, Dad, I'm not sure that that's the one for me. I really think we should check out this other troop. No, I got it taken care of. And next thing you know, Mr. O'Connor gets a call from Ben. And I remember when he did the crossover, Mr. O'Connor stopped them and looked at the folks in the audience and said, I've never had an individual scout call me to want to find out about my troop to then join. So that's in terms of the clarity and a sense of purpose and self-awareness. Another perspective was when he's done very well at school. I'll definitely touch base on that. We're truly as a family proud of him in that regard. But when it came time to go to middle school at the same time, there was this idea of, I want to go to Darnell Cookman. And to me, it was a game of statistics. What are the odds of getting in? And then he said to us, and we had visited, matter of fact, Mr. Gordon and Ann Gordon, we were visiting together between Darnell Cookman and there was another school downtown. And so we were going to apply for Darnell Cookman. He said, no, I want the medical program at Darnell Cookman. And I'm thinking statistics, but wait a second, our odds just decreased. And because it's even harder, smaller groups get into the medical magnet. So he applied and he got in. And continuing down the path and the belief of wanting to be a doctor, and truly his vision. From there, the one thing I would say is that what I took out of that, because I did not have that clarity as a youth, and not that all kids have that clarity of vision as a youth, but the idea is that's the clarity that you need to find, right? It's not necessarily going to happen when you're 11, 12. Some folks have it, some folks don't, but ultimately you have to find your point of clarity. You have to find your path. And ultimately, what scouting is about, and what getting to Eagle Scout proves is that you can find your path, and that can traverse to other aspects of your life. So, we talked about mentoring. We talked about clarity and self-awareness and purpose. The other item I just wanted to touch on was based on the Scout motto, be prepared. Why do you need to be prepared? Nobody opens the door for you just for the purposes of opening the door. You have to be prepared for when that door is open so that you know it's the opportunity that's in front of you, that you're prepared to take action and take advantage of that particular opportunity. And in Bennett's case, and as was pointed out earlier, in terms of his preparedness, Bennett's an individual that is in his room studying 4 to 5 hours a night. That's not an exaggeration. Every night, Monday through Friday, sometimes on weekends, 4 to 5 hours. Graduated with from Stanton with a GPA of over 4.6. Was involved in activities related to scouting to achieve the Eagle Scout year. Was also part of a robotics team, actively involved in Latin, honors, science, math, and English clubs, as well as the National Honor Society, the Ignite Mentoring Program, Lego Robotics Mentoring, and the Jacksonville Youth Leadership, and also participated in the MS-150 for every year for all the years that he was in high school. And started out where I would be the one pulling him and he'd be behind me, and now I'm kind of like left in the dust and he's going up the hill. So he actually received or was accepted into Emory in Atlanta, Miami, Stetson, and Florida, and received scholarships almost totaling $300,000 across the 4 years. So with all of this, and again, that really drives to the motto of being prepared. You have to be prepared, and I think the Scouts is a perfect example of a vehicle that really gets you prepared. And if you have the drive academically and put those two together, you're definitely positioned. You have many doors open for you. The last thing I would just convey is, so what's our expectation given this ability that he has, that he's achieved the Eagle Scout, that he's done well in school? I think my expectation, my wife's expectation is that on his honor, he do his best to do his duty to God and his country and to obey the Scout law, and to help other people at all times, to keep himself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Thank you.
Yeah, he didn't just study in this room. One of the last merit badges he had to get was camping merit badge, and we were down in the wire on this thing, and he came out to one of the camping trips he had to come to, and I'm the night owl. I'm putting everybody to bed. I'm the last guy down, right? And I'm going by the fire ring, and there's a kid sitting up. I'm like, whoa, 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 what are you doing out of the tent? It's Bennett. He's like, I'm studying. He's got his book there, and I said, you can study for a few more minutes, but it's my camping trip, and you know it's just about to rain. So he studied for a few more minutes, then the rain came, and he went to his tent and studied. But he's going to have a few words for you.
First, thank you to my dad for that. It's really odd standing up here after being in scouting for, it's about 11 years now. And that kind of baffles me when I say that I haven't felt that long. It's been so fun, and I've learned so much. But I'd just like to take a second at the beginning here to thank everyone. So first, my parents. Without their support, I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am today. And so my other family who couldn't make it, I want to thank them for their support. And also, over the time I've been in the troop, Mr. Carter and Mr. O'Connor were my scoutmasters. I want to thank them along with all the other assistant scoutmasters that helped me along the way. My teachers, some of whom are here tonight, I want to thank you. You really made me balance my academic and my extracurricular activities. I had a lot of schoolwork, but I always had to make that fine line of when to do what. And then also my friends and my fellow scouts who are here and who support me along the journey. And just something about my friends, some of them are here today. A lot of kids in scouting aren't open about it in school. I'm friends with kids at my school that don't tell other kids they're in scouting. If you're my friend, you know I'm in scouting. And I don't shy away from talking about that. They all know my email address. But aside from that, there are, in more ways I can imagine, scouting has fundamentally shaped my life, and it has contributed to making me a person of unique substance. It wasn't the act of joining scouting necessarily that did this, but my prolonged exposure to it through countless troop meetings, campouts, and hikes. Scouting has helped to shape my character over the past decade and to make me who I am today. It has caused me to be ambitious and strive for more than average goals. It has given me experience as a diligent leader, as well as a loyal follower, and helping me find out when to be which. It has taught me to never give up on my goals, no matter how insurmountable they may seem, no matter how big that even mountain was, I knew I would be able to climb it because of scouting. Above all, really, I feel it's taught me dedication. Dedication to my family, to my friends, and dedication to all my endeavors in the past and in the future. The kind of ultimate goal of scouting was mentioned previously, and it's to become an Eagle Scout. But that's something that one day every Boy Scout will be doing. That's kind of the pinnacle of scouting you want. When you start out as a Cub Scout, you see other Boy Scouts and you see these 17, 18-year-olds that are Eagle Scouts, and that's what you want to be today, and you know you want to be that. And I have to be honest, there were times along the path that I wasn't sure that I would make it and that I faltered. And when I placed greater importance on other aspects of my life, whether it be school or anything else. But I did my best to remain steadfast through those times. So I first started scouting when I was about 7, so about 11 years ago. And it sounded fun, so I decided to join. My dad was one of the den leaders. My brother and one of his best friends was in scouting. So it seemed like something fun to do. And from that point, I built my life kind of around my fellow scouts and my troops and my bands. And a few of my friendships were fostered back then, that's me today, and Jacksonville is one of the most prominent in that spectrum of friends that I've developed. So you start out in Cub Scouts and go on these weekend camps, camp out, you do Pine Wood derbies, and then once you're in your era of life, you're kind of the top of Cub Scouts. You cross over into scouting. So I just know from some of my observations, Cub Scouts is parents are very much so involved, and they're very hands-on with all of your advancements. Mrs. Benford and Mr. Benford were my leaders as a Cub Scout as well. And then once I crossed over to Boy Scouts, I kind of noticed that shift to where the parents were kind of pushing me anymore, and I had to push myself to do that, but where was my parents supporting me through that. And just kind of some of my memories. So Mr. Bauer coming around kind of surprised me the first day of my first summer camp, walking around with this blowhorn, threatening to get everyone up. And so of course, as a new scout, I got right out then and I got dressed, and I was kind of surprised to see some of the older scouts staying in bed until we went into their tent and blew the horn. So flooding canoes at camp for merit badges, camping in freezing weather, and whittling around the campfire with everyone at night. All those are some of my great memories. But I can go on hours and hours talking about all the memories I've had from Boy Scouts and from Cub Scouts. But kind of one of them is the most prominent. And that was the national jamboree that I went to in 2010. And I remember Mr. Carter telling us all these stories about how we had to go no matter what. It was the best experience he had had. And I went, and it honestly was. And that made me realize when I was there that I was part of something bigger than myself and part of something bigger than my troop down in Jacksonville. So the camaraderie that I witnessed there made me see what scouting was all about. And it involves camping, you learn how to tie your knots, and it teaches you how to start a fire. But I kind of realized something more from that. It really has built my character, and it's fostered a lifelong passion of caring. And it develops the boys who participate in the program to diligent leaders who make a difference in the community around them. But most of all, I believe it's about self-discovery. And at least that's the case for me. It might be different for other people. But scouting has not only taught me who I am, but who I can become. And I had the program along with everyone else who helped me along the way, all the leaders, all my friends, my parents, to thank for that. Thank you.
One more time, Ben Gossett. Now, to the honor of our please escort Jackson Benford to the stage. Right here. In the hot seat. All right. Similar to what we've already done, close your eyes, you're going back to Jackson's Member Review. It was January 16th of 2013. We're kind of doing a little time feud on it. I'd like to introduce all of you to an exceptional scout, Troop 101's 50th Eagle Scout candidate, Jackson Benford. Jackson joined the Troop 101 March 17th, 2006, the same exact day as Benford. Jackson fully participated in Cub Scouting, Webelos, earning his Arrow of Light. Since then, he's matured a great deal and has developed great leadership skills over these years in scouting. He participated in 7 summer camps: Lumpkin, Comer, Skymont twice, Thunder, Shands, and Daniel Boone. He hiked Philmont in 2010. For those counting, he'd never missed a year of summer camp. He served as his troop leader, as senior patrol leader, troop guide, troop webmaster, the first one we've ever had, assistant senior patrol leader, den chief, and assistant patrol leader. Jackson is junior leader trained twice. As you can see by the participation records that were presented to the board, his participation is excellent. He's a model scout with the ability to lead others successfully. When he was elected senior patrol leader, even his mother was concerned that he wouldn't speak up in front of the crew. That concern was misplaced, as he developed into a great SPL and later became a successful leader in the Mandarin Marching Band as well. He strives to properly wear the appropriate uniform at all times and sets a good example. Jackson earned 29 merit badges. He was part of the troop's effort, also winning the Montosca Moccasin Commissioner's Award, Skymont Skills Award. He earned his snorkeling patch twice, and Skymont Duty to God Award. He earned his Leave No Trace Award and Recruiter patch. He also was one of the first guys to ever earn the kayaking merit badge. Jackson enjoys the outdoors, having camped 89 nights, including freezing weather. He hiked to Philmont, canoed 43 miles, and performed at least 59 service hours in addition to his Eagle Scout project. He's a scout that's respected by his troop and was elected to the Order of the Arrow. He completed both his OA ordeal and brotherhood successfully. He's active in the marching band and a section leader as well. He's an awesome, intelligent, and humorous young man, and has matured greatly in scouting, building some of the strongest friendships with his fellow scouts that I've ever seen. As you can tell, I'm proud of this young man. I'm pleased to recommend him for this highest rank of scouting, Eagle Scout. Very much appreciate your consideration, Jackson Benford, for this honor, as I know he will bring honor to this rank of Boy Scouts of America. And now, with honor, please escort his parents forward, and you must stand. Jackson, your parents have undoubtedly been your primary source of help and strength. In recognition of your mother's devotion, please present her with this Eagle Mother's Pen. Pin this badge on your mother's ribbon in recognition of her love, encouragement, faith, and trust in your future, and as an Eagle Scout, may you never disappoint her. That means you've got to get the pen open. There she goes, helping you again. In recognition of your father's devotion, commitment to you, and mentoring, please present him with the Eaglle Father's Pin. In this badge on your father in recognition of his love, encouragement, faith, and trust in your future. So, Jackson, no one knows the unnumbered acts of self-sacrifice for your mother. She's been at your side through the scouting years. I'd like for your mother to present the Eagle Scout certificate to you. So, Jackson, as your father has been your mentor, advisor, and source of much advice and guidance in scouting, and certainly been along with you on the trail of Eagle. I'd like for your father to pin the Eagle medal on your uniform. And now, please Denver and Andrew Denver, please approach and vest him with his neckerchief and give him the Eagle neckerchief and slide. This gift from your troop, we would like to present you with the official Eagle Scout neckerchief and slide. In addition to the neckerchief and slide, we'd like to give you this Eagle Scout pocket knife. We hope that it will always remind you of the mountain you've climbed and the challenges you have before you. And now, Jackson, would you kindly light the second Eagle candle? For this special ceremony, we had to actually modify our candle stand to accommodate 2 candles at the top. I like it. Come over here. Jackson Benford, you have made your family and Troop 101 very proud. It gives me great pleasure to present to you Troop 101's 50th Eagle Scout, Jackson Benford. Again, they cut me out. I'm going to be fairly brief, but I will say that Jackson's always been a pleasure having him in the troop, and as a city patrol leader, having to work with him on a regular basis, it was always a fun time to plan meetings and get things organized and take a group to summer camp and all those wonderful things, and also just being in the community and going to the high school football games and seeing that time, because the last 2 years, he's had a feature solo. at every game. And every time he comes out, I'm just like, that's one of my guys. You know? And it's just great. And it's great to know you and your friends as I said before, you and several others in the troop have found this tremendous bond of friendship. And I have no doubt in my mind that you guys are going to be lifelong friends. You know, we talked about the Merit Badge program. In the Merit Badge program, you find a career or a lifelong hobby, but even better than that, it's the friendship you found. And now, let's see who's going to go. Jackson's father's.
Well, Claudio, you always had better toys than me. I'll be working on it. I do want to go a little off of what I wrote here because I really was touched by Ben and Claudio and their words, him and myself, for all the years that we worked with these guys. And it was easy. These are bright boys. In fact, in that den that we had, there are 2 Eagle Scouts. Future Eagle Scout 2, Comcast, and a valedictorian. So we really just showed them what to do. They learned it. They were very sharp. They made it very easy, very enjoyable. I think I learned it from what they did for me. Kind of reminds me of a story to kind of describe Jackson. He was young. I don't know the age, maybe 7th grade, maybe even earlier. And he was asking me, Dad, what is sin? And what is cost? And I looked at him. You remember this, don't you? Yep. I said, son, do you mean sine and cosine? That's what it was. He wanted to do something with vectors and computers. And I said, let's take the dog for a walk around the block. And we did that. About a 15-minute walk. And when he got back, he knew geometry. And that's how quick these young men learn. And I think it showed throughout their scouting career on how quickly they had the aptitude for the scouting principles. So really, it's a journey. It's a long journey. It's not a journey that you can do in a short period of time. It's not one that you really need to do early either. You don't have to do 14, 15, 15. In fact, I'd like to say that the later you get to Eagle, if you're more mentally prepared, you're more physically developed, you understand your responsibilities and your leadership that's required to properly manage the troop. It takes a lot of people, and one of the things that it does, it's a precious commodity that we all have, is time. We have to give our time to this program. And for the scout, it's the time they take to learn these skills, these technical skills. You see them now, Bennett Howler, Hanson Sashon, see all the merit badges, everything they learned in scouting. Probably half of that they wouldn't have been exposed to without this program. And that challenges you as a parent to be more active with the things that you read with your child. Get away from the TV a little bit. Get outside. Do something in reading, especially in today's day. And later on, it takes time, as I mentioned earlier, so you can really develop mentally, physically, to understand the deeper meaning. I think Claudio talked about that quite a bit. There's very deep meaning in duty to God, duty to country, duty to self, duty to others. And where else do you learn those things? Then in the Boy Scouts. Now, from the leaders, and there's a lot of leaders in this troop. I remember when I first came into the troop, I tried the leadership role for a while. And I don't know what they were more on, whether more scouts on outing or more leaders. It was really amazing to see that. To know that the scouts have such good oversight on their outings. And that time is valuable. As you all know, I'm an engineer, so I did some calculations. I'll leave one of them off because it's too financial. But if you add up the hours that are required for the adults that you see here in the audience that are wearing uniforms today, it equates to meetings, the planning of the meetings, the camping, all the time they dedicated. It's over 1,000 hours to take a young scout from the day he crosses over
and that's per leader. So if you add that up, it's absolutely amazing that we have that here in this group. And there are a lot of troops to shop around. We did that. I mean, we went to all of them. And really, I just have to thank Roger because we chose the right one. We came in here and there was a pet merit badge. I don't know if you remember that so many years ago. And all these scouts had their dogs and they were doing tricks. And it was absolutely amazing. So every one of our scouts crossed over in uniform. And 3 of them have been extremely happy. The ones that have went on to other areas, I know they've been touched by family and they're better people than they did before that. So I'm going to paint a different story than the one painted for Bennett. Maybe a little embarrassing for you guys. But he began as a Tiger Scout. And we spent a lot of time finding something that was really, let's say, of interest to Jackson at a very young age. And you never know, we all do that. The baseball, the soccer, the basketball, the itchy shin pads, and the pet foods, all of that. And although he enjoyed those, he never really showed much strong desire to go out and do that really athletic, kind of bump around in early days. He was more shy, more introverted, really liked to learn. And we took him to his first Tiger Scout meeting. And that was a young, shy 6-year-old that went to his meeting. And he just left. Something about the program of scouting really appealed to him. I think it was the structure that you can have that in a Tiger meeting. He saw it. I just saw chaos. And he liked it so much that, and especially at that first year of scouting, very often there was an impromptu cancellation of the meeting. And yes, people do. So that was okay with him, because he knew when we came home, we'd have our own dinner. And that's what we did. Flag ceremony, the activities, checking the boxes. He really likes this. He likes to check boxes. You didn't know that about him. And even that required snack at the end of the meeting, which carries all the way to today's ceremony with the cakes that are out there. Now, he probably had an alternative line, but what happened is we sort of got pulled into scouting. And Pam and I then became leaders for the next 7 years with Jackson in our son days. At times we had 2 days. There was a period when we had 3 days going on at once. We were helping other Tiger days get started. And that lasted all the way through Eaglle. And then finally he crossed over into scouting. And that's when he asked me to allow him to grow without his father. I don't know if you know that, but we had to tell him. He wanted to really elbow it. So I honored that. And as much as I wanted to go on all those summer games and the canoe trips, it was more important that he did that on his own. And if you're going to look at the young, shy scout, 6-year-old, where it is today, it's home. We're very far away. Now, he was almost 18 when he finished his retirement. And the only thing I can say to that is Jackson loves deadlines. And that's what he told me. He goes, Dad, I need a deadline. I thought the deadline might be 6 months before, but no, it was almost the birthday. It would have been the birthday had we not gone out of town for 2 weeks prior. So anyhow, that deadline is obviously something I gave Mom a little bit greater. And you may think of that as procrastination. And that's really something that I think Bennett exhibited that quite well as well. This is not procrastination. This is really, they want to do it all, and they did do it all. Okay? They balanced everything. Now, that means you go a little bit slow, but you do experience all those things that are important at this age. For Jackson, it was a rigorous high school program. And I really can only duplicate what happened in your household. I mean, this boy was up to midnight every night. So, and for those of you who go to Mandarin High or in the age program, I think there's a few in the group. That was especially true the junior year, where it was amazing that he could even have the energy to go to a Friday night meeting after such a hard work at school. I think the program that they went through was harder than most undergraduate programs in colleges. I really do. Now, he also balanced some activities in schools with his musical education. And he's very active with the high school band, played trumpet for them. And that was a sacrifice. There was a lot of conflicts in schedule, the Friday night meetings. As we all know now, as we start to get more band kids into this troop, is that Friday night was a tough night. And he balanced it, but he probably lost maybe 6 to 9 scouting meetings with having to manage both those activities. But he did a good job of that. Now, towards the end, I really saw a lot of confidence build with Jackson. And that's really, I think, the key thing of scouting and what can happen to any youth, no matter what your needs are. And that was his desire to go to Philmont. That was mentioned, Walter mentioned that earlier. He didn't do that. But he had a tight schedule. And so the only way we could make it work is he had to go to Philmont with another troop. Now that meant meeting leaders, keeping the scouts that he didn't know as well. He had a buddy with him, so I'll have to give Ron a lot of congratulations for doing that with him. But that showed the level of confidence to go out on that adventure without the familiarity of 101, which is where he's been for all these years. And he did a great job. He did all the hiking. If you see on the table later on, he has a pass for 100+ miles hiking. And all of that was with Troop 333. And that was all from Philmont and from the hikes prepared for. And this 140-pound boy can carry a heavy backpack that ran 40 minutes. He's good at yard work, too, by the way. So, anyways, to kind of close on that, I don't know any other program that can do this to young people in our community. I'd have to say personally that his experience in scouting has made Jackson a better person. It made Pam and I better parents. You know, I also think that 101 is a stronger troop from Jackson having been in. One of the things I wanted to touch on, if I can hear the scouts and stuff. You don't want scouts. Just you. Yeah, all the scouts, I think. One of the first things Jackson did when he came into Troop 101, he earned a badge. It was a merit badge. This badge is kind of hidden right now. It's the recruiter badge. One of the things he did is he brought somebody to the troop that he was close to, a friend of his. Now that friend's no longer with the troop, but he's also on the path to be there. We'll be able to see that this year. That's really another message to this troop. Cub Scouts, there's a really strong emphasis for the scout to help the Cub Scout path. And we taught that to all of our scouts. The same is for the troop. So as you see your numbers perhaps declining a little bit as older scouts move on, you can wait for reloads to come in. And that may work. But times are changing. The economy's tough. And it's easy for that to happen. It's good to go out and network with your friends. Let them know your scouts. Let them know the benefits of scouting, your experiences. And everyone should have a recruiter badge sometime in their scouting career. And if you did that, this troop would double in size. You'll be helping another person. You'll also be helping yourself. So, son, I just wanted to congratulate you. And, oh, funny, you can see this. And the only way to say it is that your mom and dad are very proud of you.
That's got my little note card here. I'm like, less than what my dad's got. Alright, so first of all, my Eagle, I know it represents all the work that I've done and all the other Eagles have done. But really, it also, it's not possible without all everybody else. It really represents what everybody else has done in order to help us get a Eagle. So I just want to call a couple of people. Mr. Philippi, you can stand up if you want to. And Mr. Philippi, I just want to really thank you for all the merit badge work that you've done with me and really helping out plan the last 5 merit badges. Well, that's 5 merit badges in 1 month, and you take time out of your busy schedule. 5 merit badges is a lot of work, so thank you very much. And of course, Mr. Carter for all your guidance when I was SPL. And then later, when I was working on my project, the paperwork, it was ridiculous. It was like 30 pages. It's ridiculous. It's like you think you're trying to open a business. But then you get open and all that. Mr. Connor was here today. Mr. Connor he's my first scoutmaster. Of course, he was the first one who really got me excited in scouting. I remember when he came up to me that first day, I called for the troop and told me to come to my very first troop activity, which was a Eagle Scout Portamana. And I got to speak the going to be Eagle Scout. Very, very scared. Thank you so much. Of course, no one from Westminster could be here today. They have a lot of trouble with flooding. But Mr. Jordan and Mr. Bresson and Mr. Jim Lee are really helping out with my project and sponsoring and not being too mad at me when I was like $100 short. Thank you very much. And of course, our parents, but we never knew it was done without all their encouragement support. Mom with it. The day I came home and I told you that I didn't think I could do it. My dad called Red Cat. Alright, so now I just want to think of the program itself and what it's done for me. Of course, it's all like, all the skills I've learned and all the leadership skills I've gone through being SPL, but really what helped me is that they came to the trip, I was really shy. Everybody knew me. It was like, I hide in the corner, barely even talking to people. Really just like, no way I'm gonna drop out of scouting because I can't do like the leadership department, right? And so, but really, all the fears and stuff that happened from my shyness, I was able to conquer through scouts. From all like the bench training, all the leadership experience, opportunities, code, my fear of heights. I get over that real quick when you're doing that high foot walk across that typewriter. And then of course, film on with Ron going across my plane ride all by myself and doing 80 plus miles out in the wilderness all alone. Just really, before then I was very nervous about driving cars, and afterwards I was much more comfortable. Mom will know that. She was nervous when it's opened so much more opportunities. I'm definitely a better person because of all this. I never would have been trumpet section leader, playing all these solos and asking to go out and all these things. All these things I've been able to do because of how scouting has pushed me to finally get out and scout. It's still there, so naturally I'm a shy person, but now I know that when I go to college and stuff, that I'm able to come out and be a good person. So lastly, just one thing, everybody in the church, just everybody, because it's not always what you're doing. It's not always sitting out there in the sun, getting pouring rain on, and the heat of the chance. It's just awful. So it's just really, I mean, sitting there by yourself is awful, but it's the people that you're with that really make scouting fun. And so it's, I remember there was one time at Chance, and it was just, I was ASPL, probably was SPL, and it was just pouring rain, there was thunder and lightning, it was just, got to the point where we moved over to the dining hall, but before that, we had half the troop under a bathroom, and half the troop under a pavilion. Which would have just been awful. It's hot, and humid, it's raining, and you're at home, and you're away from parents, and just nothing to do. Everybody forgot cards. But instead, because the people were with, we were cheering like ridiculous. Bathroom! It's just one of my favorite camping memories, and there's so many other memories. It's just because of all the people that are around me, that just the program itself only gives me. So I just want to really thank you. I had a really wonderful time in scouting. It was really changed my life. And just thank you for everybody for making it a great time.
Thank you for being back to Wednesday. So today is a very special and memorable day. Obviously completed. The Benford and Gosker families of Troop 101 would like to thank all of you once again for participating in this event. Thank you for coming out, participating, and let's give both of our Eagle Scouts one more round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Actually, I didn't get a chance to get right to the script to say what I wanted to say. Everybody touched on our great scouts are both people. I'm telling you, I'm proud of each and every one of our Eagle Scouts. You guys have done a great job. Welcome to the Eagle Scout Brotherhood. I'm proud to have you amongst us. And at this time, I'd like to call Mr. Dean Philippi to give the closing prayer.
Congratulations, both ladies, that's probably good. As scholars, Reverend, would everybody please stand as rendition? We thank you, God, for the opportunity to come together as family, friends, leaders, and fellow scouts on this significant day for both Jackson, Denver, and Bennett Oscar's life. We thank you, God, for your support of everyone who has helped guide both Jackson and Bennett on their Eagle Trail. We are grateful for the scouting experiences and opportunities that they have led to this day. Help both Jackson and Bennett to live up to their honor, responsibility, and expectations that this Eagle Award represents. Help them wear this title with pride and distinction as an example to others. Help them, Lord, to fly in your presence with the wings of an eagle. Lord, continue to watch over Jackson and Bennett as they both grow into young men, and give the adults the patience and the wisdom to guide Jackson and Bennett, as well as the other Eagles to be. Jackson and Bennett, may you both soar. May God's breath fill your wings and carry you to your destiny. May you continue to grow in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. May you both keep yourself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. May you lead by influence and not by title alone. May you both lead with a delicate mix of humility, strength, example, and force. May you build into the lives of other young men, future Eagles for all your days. O Lord, grant Jackson and Bennett the will and the strength to give up their solemn obligations, to do their duty to God and their country, for all mankind, that they be trustworthy, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent, to help others at all times, especially those who are weak in mind, to be prepared and do their best in every endeavor, to never forget they are an Eagle Scout, and to always remember that they represent the ideals of the highest achievement in scouting, a symbol of good character and citizenship and of wholesome work and honor. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Philippi. And now for the retiring of colors by the Honor Guard. Audience, please continue. Jackson Bennett Scout Memorial picture and Eagle Private Push List and Scout List on display on the table for